Good morning, my Teaserking family. I'm a little bit later today. Probably be a little shorter show. Today is the professor's birthday, and I'm going to go and have a nice dinner, and I'm going to go play some poker and enjoy myself today. A little different, and I'll go swim, then dinner, then poker. And the reason is I would normally go to the buffet at MGM on my birthday or New Year's Eve, but they don't have one anymore. It's so weird. So the restaurants they have are ridiculous and they're very overpriced. So I get a better deal at the barbecue and it's on the way and it's not far from so you go to the gym, you eat it, you go there, it's on the way, and then you go to the casino, which is also right on the way. So we will have some fun tonight. So I won't be too bad. Probably 2 hours or so, roughly. Anyway, let's talk gold jewelry versus gold coin. Okay, this is probably, I'm not going to call it a scam, but you do not buy. Hey, Bobby Bo. Well, thank you, Bobby Bo. I appreciate that. So I bought the half ounce of gold for my birthday on Saturday, trading it in. So I go to the jewelers. So it's a high-end jewelers called Tappers here, which is really high. Like you go there, you know you're getting quality. You don't have to worry about it. They are expensive. So I asked questions we wanted to know, Bobby. So first I said, why is it priced if it's 18 karat gold and you get the ounce down? Why isn't it like, oh, it's 0.75 ounces of gold in the chain after taking away the bullshit, the other metals? Why is it not an ounce? Why is it now at that? And well, we'll do economics and gold and whatever. We'll leave this very open. So I go and so I'm going to the buyer, some manager type level. And she says, well, because we don't know what else is in it. And so we're the spot. I don't think I got a real strong answer, but just because they don't know what's in the necklace, that's why they first you're getting down to the gold, and then they're not sure it's 100% gold. It still could be mixed. It's an approximate. How it gets labeled 18 karat or 14 karat, that's the mystery. She said, we've got some that are 14 that are really 10. So for some reason, they're just giving you the 14 karat price instead of the 1 ounce price. So they're worried that, no. Basically, they're just worried about how much gold's really in it. So which leads me to believe, then what the fuck are you selling me? So you're trying to sell me a 14 karat gold necklace that maybe has 10 carats of gold in it. And then if you try to buy it, but what are you doing? So if you go to the jewelry store, Bobby, and you go, I want to buy my girlfriend, I want to buy her a gold necklace like the professor has. And they're going to say, well, the gold price is, so this is 14 karat, but the gold price is 1850, which is a lie because it should be the 14 karat gold price, which is 1,000. So right off the bat, it's only $1,000 of gold at the 14. So if it's an ounce, you should be paying 1,400. Then there's the bullshit of the designer designed it. Oh, who designed it? How hard was it to design this? And then the labor, putting it together, and then the markup. So this will be $3,000, but it's worth $1,100 in gold. Then I asked her, being an IMFJ, my brain's always thinking. I go, well, what about? Could I have just given it to? Could I have sold it to you as the chain, not the gold? And since you're going to sell it for $3,000, would you give me $1,500 for it? Yeah. What was the better way to do it? Get the gold out of it, or it's got all this other stuff. Then just go ahead and sell you the whole chain. Here's the chain. Like it would be a painting or a card, right? And then, okay, with the chain, would you have given me more? And she says, no, we would have melted it down. I go, but why? Why wouldn't you just sell it for $3,000? I'm cutting off your overhead, right? You don't have to labor. All you got to do is give me 1,500. You make 1,500 on it. I don't get what's so difficult. I understand Austrian economics. I get it. What the fuck don't you get? And she's like, no, we would melt it down. And I'm looking at her like, why? Why would you melt it down? Because it's used. Well, what does that mean? This is, I got this in 1995, 05, 15. So it's almost 30 years old. It's still brand new. It's gold. Nobody would know that it's used or new. You could say it's new. Nobody would care. Or you could say it's used. It would be 3,500. We're selling it for there. You're going to make 1,500. What the fuck are you doing? And so the whole thing's all like a mystery to me. So she said, no, we would always take the gold and melt it down, which makes no sense. Okay. Then I said, how about our coins? Are our coins like this? Are they carats and that? She said, no, coins are not. The coins are more, it's like 99% gold and just a few other little metals because they're too soft. 24 carats too soft. So for a coin, that's why they're 9999. It's a little bit of whatever, copper or brass or steel, whatever they put in it to make it, so you can touch the coin. She says, no, only the jewelry is 18 karat, 14 karat, 10 karat. The coins are always, they're not in carats. It's just spots 1850. It's an ounce of coin. It's 1850. And if it's a half ounce, it's a half ounce of 1850. So it would be 925 on the spot. So whatever that is. So I'm like, okay. So I'm relaxed that the coins are not carats. The coins are an ounce, a half ounce, a quarter ounce of whatever. Same as silver. Silver is 1 ounce. It's not carat. If silver is $100 an ounce, it's worth $100. If and or but. And that's spot. And obviously we can get more if we sell it on eBay. So I wanted to clean those two up because I always assumed gold was gold coins. I never thought of the jewelry being not using spot. So that really surprised me that an 18 karat, this is 18 karat is not, because the guy said at the store, he says, well, if it's 1 ounce, we'll give you 70, we'll give you a 1,500. If the spot's 2,000, we'll give you 1,500. That's what he told me. So I just thought, oh, okay. Which he's incorrect, which makes me not believe the guy at the coin store who owns it. Hard to believe the guy. I just think he doesn't know. So I think what I'm realizing is a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. And I come in and I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm talking about. And they kind of get a little intimidated, I think, because I'm very strong, as you can see from the show. This is really me. This is the way I am when I go to the gold store or to the hot tub with the communist. I can be funny and I tell good jokes, but they're pretty serious. And then and they're funny. But wherever I can, I'm teaching about gold now because it's so important that you own it, of what's about to happen. So again, I would only recommend coins, not jewelry. The jewelry, you'll get fucked on, right? You're going to spend $3,000. Okay. So let's take this. She's going to sell this for $3,000 in the store, but not this one, a new one. She's going to melt this down for the gold. Okay. So she melts it down, gets a new one for $3,000. If it's even 18 karat, which is probably 14 karat now. So this is 18 karat. It's worth $1,100 in gold standards, in gold prices. You're going to pay $3,000 and it's worth $1,100. Why would you do that? So if you just look at today's prices and you're going to spend $3,000, go fucking buy an ounce and a half of the Eagle coin. And the coin, the ounce will be $2,000. The half ounce is $1,000, $3,000, and you get $3,000 worth of it. So I'm not going to call it an investment, but I don't know what to call it because it's really let's call that an investment, but really we're getting out of paper. We're getting the goal. What we're doing right now is getting out of this. We're getting out of this. And the kicker is that the gold coin is going to go up with the gold price. So in that sense, why would you buy gold jewelry? You got to be out of your fucking mind. Because it's not priced right? On the price side of it, when you buy it, they want to say, well, gold's $1,900 an ounce. But when you go to sell it, it's not $1,900 an ounce. It's whatever it is at 18 karat or 14 karat times the weight. So, I mean, you're totally fucked because you're not getting paid for the other metals. So what I said to her, well, what if I gave, would you give me $1,500 for this? Because you're saying you're going to sell for $3,000. And she said, no, and I don't know if she said, all we do is it's gold. We buy the gold. That's what we do. We don't buy anything else. That's what they're trying, so in their mind, they're just buying the gold. They're going to melt it down. And then the designers, what a ripoff that is. Oh, he's a designer, it's Joe Blow. So you're going to, instead of $3,000, it's $5,000 because Joe Blow designed it. Okay. First of all, this is not art. In our world, we're buying this for the gold. In my world, I bought it for the gold. I didn't buy it for the look. I bought it because I wanted to buy gold. Okay. Keep that in mind. We are trying to not take risk. We don't want to lose money. So we're buying ounces. So you got to buy the coins. You have to. And then at least you get your value. So as economists, what do we look at? I paid $1 for it. I want to get $2. In the jewelry world, you're going to pay $3,000 and get $1,100 back. Now, I paid $550 for this in 1995. So actually, I did double my money because I could get $1,100 for something I paid $550 for. However, if I would have bought 2 ounces of gold at $250 an ounce, let's call it $550. Although there's no tax, and I would have went to a store. So, but we'll call it $550 to keep it even. But gold was $250 an ounce. So with the 2 ounces I could have bought instead of buying this, I'd have at least $3,700 at $1,850 an ounce spot, more like $2,000. So I could have turned 500 into 4,000, and I turned 500 into 1,100. So I make money because gold's going up, but the correct play is to buy the gold coin. That will always save you because that's real. It's 100%. It's that time, an ounce time spot. Boom. There's no bullshit. Well, we're going to give you a 14 karat gold for it. We're going to give you the 14 karat gold price. Still seems like it's double dipping because if we're taking the weight down to gold, then it should then that. But what they're saying is that we don't even know that that's all gold. What the fuck are they putting in? So what, is there no gold in these things? Or they're fucking around and there's more gold. And, to me, 1,100's an embarrassment. I mean, this is over an ounce, but how much gold's in it? So that's where they're fucking you. They're not telling you really how much gold's in it. They're misleading us into believing it's 18 karat, 14 karat, which would mean 18 karat gold. So if it weighs an ounce, it's 3/4 of its gold. Well, that's not correct, but that's the scam they're trying to pull on you. So you buy it thinking, I don't know. Does anybody buy jewelry because it looks nice? I mean, if you do, then you might as well just buy costume jewelry because it looks nice, because it's not going to have a value because you'll never get your value out of it. When I was married, I bought my ex for an anniversary gift, a $1,700 necklace that had the sapphires in it, real nice sapphires. I mean, this was very classy, $1,700, 25 years ago. I don't know what it's worth now. I don't know how you would value it. Can I go into this jeweler and have the sapphire and say, here, I want to sell it? What the fuck are they going to give me? They're fucking me on the gold. What are they going to do on sapphire? Well, the sapphire price, we don't know. We can only give you half of what. And I don't even know if there's a sapphire price. Is there a sapphire price? I mean, I can check that out, but stick with gold and silver. So we're buying gold and silver, A, to get out of the money, and B, it's been held down, so we know it's going to get to its value, and C, it'll hold its value against this inflation and whatever new currency comes out. So don't buy gold or maybe silver. It's cheaper. What are you looking at, Bobby? You looking at the Russian exchange or what? Gold is down. Hey, Bobby, you keep bringing in the fantasy. This is Disneyland, right? In Disneyland, this has no two, 4, 8. So in Disneyland, things are imagination and fantasy. Who's screwing us? We're not being screwed because this isn't the real price. Gold price today. What's Bobby talking about? So it's 1817. Look at the 10 o'clock drop. I love it. London fixing it back. So it goes down to 1817 at 10 o'clock. Silver's at 2011. Okay, so what does this mean, Bobby? It means that JP Morgan sold a bunch of derivative non-gold gold. That's paper gold is all it means. So what? It's not, you've got to look at the physical gold. You've got to look at what's that price, which we don't know. All we know is this is bullshit. This is trading options, trading derivatives with not real gold. I'm going to sell 1 million ounces of gold. Oh, but I don't have any. Well, how the fuck can you do it? And who's buying it when they're not getting any gold? So they're buying what? Oh, we think gold's going to go down. Why would you think gold's going down? So it's you got to ignore this, Bobby, because it's not real. It's all a fantasy because I would assume JP Morgan and the guys want to buy more. So they lower it to buy more is all I can think of. Why in the world would it go down? It's not going down because nobody wants it. It's not going down because people are selling it. There wouldn't be that many people selling it anyway. And when I go buy a half ounce, doesn't raise the price. And if I went into the gold store and said, you know what, I need to pay rent, and I'm gonna sell you a coin, it's not coming on here. So the only real people that are selling, and I see it at the gold store, are people that need money for expenses. Not, because it's an asset. But that's such a small amount. That's not what's driving this. This is done on paper. So nobody's screwing you, Bobby. It's not real. And you've got to get in your mind. We're waiting for the physical price from Russia on the Russian exchange. We're waiting for the BRICS country to come out with the dollar backed by gold. Once you see that happening, then these guys can't screw us because we're going to go with the other guys who are pricing it physically. So everybody thinks that this is the real price. Is not, because it's not. It's paper. It's what I keep telling you. It's derivative paper gold. It's not physical real coin. But there's only one score, right? There's only COMEX who's keeping score, and they're putting down whatever they want. So when they want to buy, they send out derivatives and lower it, which is fine. I mean, but we got to understand that that's not the real price, 18 something. It's good if we want to buy more. I mean, if I want to go buy more silver, beautiful. It's like I say when I go in there, it's on sale because I know it's 2,000 an ounce, and I'm not going to stop saying that because I know that's what it really is, because it's based on physical, not the COMEX is not, and they're going to come out with the dollar backed by gold in the BRICS countries, and this is collapsing. So if I went to the grocery store, would Raisin Bran be cheaper because also if the dollar is going down? No. So it makes no sense. Yeah, well, whatever. Again, you're looking at COMEX, Bobby. So what does that tell you? Go buy. If you see silver 2025 and we're anticipating 2,000 an ounce, maybe you should go buy more. See, we look at it as a buying opportunity because we know that's not the real price. Remember, this is the only thing not priced, not really priced. Well, this is where I'm taking you to the next level. So you're playing a game and everybody's at level 1. We're at level 10. We found out that the Emperor has no clothes or the Wizard of Oz is fake. We found that out. We already understand that. So the people in the beginning of the game go, oh my God, it went down. I'm in trouble. My silver's down. It's never going to go up. I'm not going to buy it. It's fixed by JP Morgan. And that's people don't understand. It's manipulated. Just like we're watching football, right? And we watch the obvious, oh, this game's fixed. Clearly, the whole Joe Burrow hits that weren't called, the holding on Kansas City that wasn't called, and the flop by Mahomes. We all know it was a fixed game, but we won because we had Cincinnati and in a teaser we won. But we knew the game was fixed, and then just like here, we know the game's fixed. We know that isn't the real price. So if you get a chance to buy it, you buy it cheap. This is a once in a lifetime. You cannot find this anywhere else. Gold, is the Jordan rookie $500? No. Is the Montana rookie $500? No. Is there a Mantle card $500? No. I saw a Mantle card. I'll show you. 1965 tops, PSA 9. How much do you think the PSA 9 Mantle went for? 1965. He started in the 50s, right? So I'm going to show you something. Okay. I hate when the phone changes on you. You think it's settled, that it's not. Here's a 1968, and this is the card I have. PSA 9 Mantle, 11,500. It didn't go for that. It probably went for 11,000 or something, but he did it. Best offer accepted. That's a 68 Mantle. Let's see if there was a 65 Mantle. I think that was the card because I was just looking through 68s. No. So you can't even find a 9. That's how rare they are. I mean, here's a 6 going for 1187 up top. That's a PSA 6. That's garbage. But so anyway, At least like those don't go down. I mean, those auctions kind of go up and down a little bit. That's what I was talking about watching that Pawn Stars, where there's 100 different markets, and this idiot's trying to find the price. And then he's stupid enough. So the bald guy, so I'll bring in the Mantle card, right? And I'll have to call in my baseball card expert. Well, this should get $10,000 for that Mantle card. No, it won't. It depends on your auction. It could get 20 grand. If you did it, buy it now, could get 30 grand. And this guy's like, based on one auction, he's assuming the price. So this guy has no clue what he's doing in this Pawn Star thing. He's trying to understand. I don't know if he understands what a market is, but he's trying to get the market, right? And he doesn't understand most of these things have multiple markets. I was talking to you about that Batman Joker guitar. Again, how many markets are there for that guitar? And because it's sold at one price for one auction, it's not going to sell for that. There's no price for it, right? This is different. This is at a grocery store, and there's several out, and they sell them by the case. So this is 50. That's one market, but you're not going to get it in the cards. You're getting multiple markets, right? As I told you, the Jordan, the 93 Topps Finest, there was $1,000 for it, and there was $700-800 for it. So it's a range depending on the market, what you're going to get for it. But in gold's gold. It's not as much of a market as multiple markets as one market. So if I go on eBay to sell an ounce of gold, I'm going to actually not get the spot. I'm actually going to get the spot plus premium. So if the store is selling it for $2,000, I'm going to get $2,000 for it. That's the beauty of eBay. But you're waiting, and then once you get the money, you get the money. So you're going to have a little bit more cost because you're going to then certify it. So the guy gets the coin and he can't say, I paid and never got it and want to pull the money back. I noticed with PayPal, if somebody disputes it, you lose. One guy said he paid for my picks twice in 1 week. And I only see him paying for it once. I don't see a second payment. What are you talking about? And he won because he said he got billed twice, and but yet there was only one payment on it on my PayPal account. So I don't know what the fuck happened. If you bought two different things, but he ended up giving me 75 extra. I said if you need help, I can verify for you, but I only got one payment. I don't know where you're getting the second payment from. And anyway, so I lost, even though we only got paid once. So it was really weird. But so yes, Bobby, what you want to do is take advantage of the low price, as if you saw a Mantle or a Joe Montana or Jerry Rice card out there. We know what it sells for, and all of a sudden the price goes down. There'd be no reason a Mantle price would go down. There might be an auction. I showed you 11,500 for my card, 68 PSA 9. God knows what a PSA 10 goes for, but good luck finding it. There'd probably be one or two zeros after that, 11,000. But keep in mind, you're going to have, I might see an auction with the Montana for 100,000, and there might be one for 95,000. It doesn't mean the price went down. There was just that's the market, but that's not what we have in gold. So it's just the same, it's the same thing. Because they do these contracts that are phony with no real gold, and they're allowed to do it, is ridiculous. So anyway, that's what I see with that. So don't buy the jewelry. The wedding ring you're going to have to buy. There's no way around it. But to just buy her necklaces and bracelets, I wouldn't buy her gold. I would buy her something that looked nice. That's $500-600 that you're not really looking at an investment. Because if you buy gold, you certainly expect it to be worth as much as you sold it for. And now I give Jenna a gold coin and she's happier than shit. she's happier than if I gave her a gold necklace. I would imagine she's happier with the gold coin. I would think, um, because she knows that's real money. Because I'm sure, like I had given her I gave her a gold bracelet the first time I met her years ago, and she, needed money, so she hawked it, and she went to the pawn shop, and she probably didn't get much. And with the gold, you don't go to pawn shops, you go to gold coin, you go to coin stores. So it's totally different. You don't fuck around with it. So, she said I needed the money, so I sold it. She's not selling this because she knows it's going to be much more valuable, and I help her out much. So we will see what happens. So I go to the library yesterday, did my unemployment now that I had it. Didn't take long. My problem is I was let go because of really no reason, right? It's just, we're going to let you go. You didn't do anything wrong, no drugs, this. So I have to put other, and there's really he didn't do, it's no problem. I just had to put other, then I said, well, personnel differences or something. It was like a personality difference. And, but it didn't really give you a chance to put anything. So I just put that. And then this morning I got, I don't know if I got approved. They just gave me I'll get this much a week starting in 2 weeks. And they're pending, but they shouldn't be a problem because they both gave me severance, and I could write that down if I need to. I can just say, well, I got severance from both. Obviously, there was no problem. She has it good. She gets the smackdown laid on her and learns about gold and silver. Well, see, that's the difference, right? Our other guy wouldn't help out girls. You'd expect them to help him out. So he's in a very he's in a line with nobody. No, don't tell her. Well, this is what you do. You take care of your friends and your girlfriends. You take care of them, and they take care. Like I said, she irons for me. When we go, she'll look at my shirt, and it's been packed in the suitcase, and I don't iron anyway. But I mean, they're not, I wash this. This isn't a wrinkle thing. I'm wearing green for luck tonight at poker. So she'll go, doesn't look good, she'll iron. So she's very nice to be with, for the way we are INFJs, we don't like a lot of people anyway. So we seem to get along pretty well. Although she hasn't wished me happy birthday today, so I'm a little, but when she's with her family, she doesn't do it. But I think she might have already. I don't know. And then so anyway, so I filed for it. So I just got to go to it's called Michigan Works, where you register for work, which no big deal. I just go submit my resume and off I go. They want you to look for a job, which I'm looking anyway, but I might as well get the extra money so I can, help with pay the girls, because it's not the Social Security is enough for my bills, but not the outside ones. And I don't want to start cashing in gold to help them out. I do have money, but if I can get more money, I might as well get more money. Does she know it's your birthday? Yeah, hell yes. My Cougar Ants came in last night fresh. So Bobby Bo was hyped up. Did you like them? I got 2 silver ones. So that's the one thing, when you get these coins like that, they're fine. You don't have to worry about them. It's the same thing. Do the magnet trick on them, and just if they hold to the magnet, you got a problem. As long as they don't hold, then you're fine. But that's good, Bobby. How many did you get? 20? Yeah. See, when you get real gold and real silver, you got real gold and real silver. You don't have to get, is it a scam or anything? You only got 5. Okay. Well, you got to build. Yeah, you got it. Well, the problem you have is you're fighting the time, right? So how much longer? How much longer is this price going to stay? That's what you're fighting. We know the price is going to go up. We know it's a scam. Everybody knows. We know bricks. That's really what you're fighting. So your gambling is, I'll be able to get some more at this price in a month or in 2 months. And then at some point, you're not going to be able to get it, and you're not going to be able to get it at this price. And that's when the Bobby Bow monster comes out going, fuck, I could have got more now. But again, as we talked, you need enough cash so you're not pulling them in. So get what you can afford. The more you buy, then the more they'll go up, or more money. So that's fine. I want 10 Krugs, then get 10 Philharmonics. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. Right now, they're probably $23, $24 an ounce. So you can't go wrong with the pricing. An interesting story. So I'm at the jeweler's, and I start talking to her about gold. I would often snap at reporters. We all snap at people, Bob, especially if you're an IM, you're like me, an INFJ. We can smell what's wrong. We smell what's cooking with everybody. And when we perceive something to be stupid, we will snap. That's why we're not understood, because we're so far advanced. We already know what's going on, and we can read everything in 2 seconds. So we sit there, and I'd be like that too. I go, what the fuck you asked me that question for? Yeah, of course I thought it was a ball, and the ump made a bad call, or they keep asking it. So, but we'd all, I do that. What do you think I do to the communists? I tell them to go fuck off. It's funny, the guys I'll be in the hot tub, and I don't like any of them. I go, no, you're a communist, you're an idiot, you're a moron. I see the guy who asked me, he told me he was getting married, and I see him in the hot tub. He doesn't say hi. I see the wife, or who he's going to marry, and there's not much to look at. So he's getting like a decent looking girl, but not real pretty girl. And probably the first time he got laid, I guess. I don't know. He looks like he's in his early 20s. So he loves her. And I looked at her. I wouldn't even date her. I wouldn't even take her coffee. She doesn't look pretty at all, which is important. It shows his confidence, right? Oh, I'm talking to her. Oh, I love her. You don't love her. Nobody knows what love is, right? It's more of an emotion. I think I like chocolate more than any, oh, I love the steak I had. I mean, that's about what it is. It tastes good, and it made me feel good. I think that's what love is. If it tastes good and it feels good, it's love. But I just sit there and so he was all excited, and he told me, and I says, why are you getting married? And he took it personally. I says, well, I'm serious. Well, I love her. And I go, well, so what? That's not going to last. And that's what he doesn't understand. That's what I was trying to get to. But if I have to explain it, it's not worth it. And I was having too much fun by going, well, why are you getting married? And he's getting all frustrated. I'm loving it. I'm like, this guy's an idiot. But really, it'd have to be it'd have to be a deep soulmate to marry somebody. And we understand soulmates, Bob, because we can feel the girl. And that was my problem in Alabama. That girl was like a soulmate to me. Only she didn't read it, but I read it. Or maybe she read it and didn't. Then I was married or had a boyfriend, and was, oh my God, look what I'm feeling. She's too weak to leave the guy for me. That's not smart enough. And so anyway, that's kind of where I'm waiting for him to give a good answer. And all he can give me is, well, I love her. And I'm like, that's not why you get married. Because there's a whole lot more to do after the sex, and paying the bill. The money's going to be an issue, and the whole thing. So that, and the love doesn't last unless, like I said, it's a soulmate. And anyway, I don't know. But so he's mad. He won't talk to me. And I laugh because I'm like, you're an idiot. Just like the communists. Why are you studying Karl Marx? Why would anybody study communism? What the fuck are you studying it for? What is that intrigue you about Stalin killing millions of people and ruining another millions of people? Because he went down to Romania and Hungary and Bulgaria and made them communists and fucked them up. Because I know when I go visit Irina or Romania, it's all fucked there. I mean, it's terrible. It's not they got some nice parts, but overall, it's kind of a bombed out city from World War II, and it's kind of, not strong economically, and that's what communism is, government control and stuff like that. So he really fucked up the whole part of Europe, and it's all France's fault. France saw them going into the Sudetenland. All they had to do was say, "Stop it! You can't. We've got this this treaty. You can't mobilize." And that's all. And then it would have ended right there because they had the army that could have done it. Oh, we're afraid to fight. Reminds me of Animal House. Oh, Pluto, we're afraid. And he says it's like when the Germans invaded Pearl Harbor. I was just watching that. And that's what it's like. The French, all they had to do was attack, and that would have been it. Nope, they wouldn't attack. It's insane. Anyway, so talking to the lady at the gold store, she sits there and says, so we talk about it. And then I say, well, what are you going to do when gold goes up? And she looks at me like she has no fucking clue. This is like a senior manager buyer who does the gold jewelry, and she's clueless to JP Morgan. She's clueless to JP Morgan, price fixing it. She's clueless to the BRICS countries. How the fuck can you work at a major jeweler as a manager and not hear about BRICS? I'm sitting there in disbelief, Bobby. I said, how the fuck? I could understand, a guy at poker not understanding BRICS. I can't understand a lady who runs a high-end jewelry store in the gold department managing and not know what the fucking BRICS countries are. She says, well, I work all the time. I don't have time to watch. And I'm like, well, that's my job, is to watch. That's my job, is to keep up with all this, because you know what? That's why we buy gold, and we'll benefit from them when it goes up in price. Plus, we won't be in dollars and get killed with it. So it's unbelievable. So I'm really confused now. Is that, okay, the guys in the sauna don't know, or, at the club or at poker, but a woman in charge of a gold department at a high jewelry store doesn't understand or know about BRICS, or that JP Morgan manipulates the gold price. This is, what are you going to do when the gold jumps up? Are you buying a lot of gold now in anticipation of the price increase? She looked at me like I was from fucking Pluto, and I looked at her like, you're one of the stupidest people alive. You're working at this jeweler store as a manager, not as a salesman, and you don't know about JP Morgan price fixing or BRICS coming out with a dollar back gold. And your response is, well, I work all the time. I don't have time. Oh, you don't have time to watch 20 minutes on YouTube? I guarantee you she doesn't know who Aegon or Alistair McLeod or Andrew, the other guy, is. I mean, those are critical to find those people, and they're all in Europe, right? The U.S. guys don't have a clue. And it's just, the Peter Schiffs are just clueless. You can't watch them and get any information, because he'll just say it's going to go up, it's going to go up. He doesn't understand the why. He doesn't understand the BRICS. He doesn't understand the JP Morgan, and he doesn't understand the gold and paper markets are different. And they just assume that the COMEX is the gold price, is the physical price, which it might be what it is now, but it's not real, and it's going away thanks to BRICS. So I was absolutely stunned. Yeah, and I bet she spends way more than 20 minutes on Netflix, and so Well, exactly, Bobby. It's all prioritized. Um, I'm trying to learn to protect us, right? I protect me, but I do this. I do the class to protect whoever wants to watch it. And I know it's long, but that's why it's live. You can come in and like Nick does. He asks a few questions about a card show, and he's back to work. That's why I'm live, so you can ask your questions. And get your answers and go. But I keep getting questions, so I keep staying on. That's why I'm on so long, is I got many questions to answer because people want to know and I want to answer. And if I don't know, what do? I went to the jewelers and I was curious, but that's because I'm an INFJ. I am curious why the carats, why we didn't use 1850. Is gold a carat? And so fortunately, no, we're fine. But again, I'm telling you, don't buy the jewelry. So yeah, and she was like probably a 50-year-old woman. It wasn't a kid. I mean, I was just stunned by it. So what are you going to do? I mean, I guess, what are we facing? We're facing all these communists, liberals that just want to take over and hurt us. Although I am encouraged. I've been watching a little, not political news because I really hate that, but Congress has these sessions, and I was just watching one with Jerome Powell. So the Republican congressman's giving him hell for the inflation and everything. And there's others that are like with the whole January 6th attack or the election and the Hunter Biden stuff. So they're really grilling these guys who are holding back evidence, right? And they're like, well, we're not stupid. We know there was a Hunter Biden laptop, right? And they'll get right in the face of these guys or the Twitter guys. And what pisses me off, and we're not seeing the whole picture, and I don't know the answer to this. I don't really know if I want to know the answer to this, but I don't know the answer to this. So basically, the Twitter guys go up in front of Congress, and they'll be asked the question, and it'll be like, okay, Bobby, what team did you play on? And you'll say, well, I can't really answer that question, or I don't remember, or that's attorney privilege, or I don't recall. These are the answers he gets, and you just hope they put them in jail. Like, no, if I ask you a question and I'm Congress, I need an answer. The answer is, some Twitter guy, were you involved in the fixing of the election? Or were you involved with knocking Trump out or that? And they'll say, I don't remember. I don't know. It wasn't my job. They'll not answer the question. They shall be thrown in jail. We'll give you time to think about it. And then they'll pull out a sheet that says, well, here, it's got your name on it that says you did. So you're lying. Send them to jail. Then they'll stop lying because these guys are all like scaredy cats anyway. They were all fooled from the start. Who was Bobby Bo? Remember, I go to two or three different subjects in 30 seconds. So are you talking about the congressman and all that shit? Anyway, that's what I don't like. So you can tell a liberal when they say, thank you for the question. So, Bobby, what teams did you play for? And Bobby responds, oh, professor, thank you for the question. That's how a liberal answers it. Thank you for the question. Who the fuck says that? Bobby asked me, 10 questions on here. Looks like my first comment didn't go through. Oh, sorry, Bobby. I do see the last one. Yeah, I bet she spends way more time on Netflix and social media. So I didn't see after that. Then it says they were all fooled from the start. And these are all algorithms. So they must see a word or something in it and kick it out because there's nobody actually monitoring it. But I did hear the head of YouTube step down because she didn't, they're going to prosecute YouTube for the same thing with Twitter, where people are discriminating or, oh wait, you're a conservative. Oh no, we're gonna wipe you out. Oh yeah, you're a liberal. Yeah, you can be on the channel. So it's a lot of that shit. But whenever that's the question, so if Bobby would ask me a question, I'd say thank you for the question. I'm obviously a liberal and a moron because who says that? I never say thank you for the question, Bobby. I answer the fucking question. How old are you? I give him the answer. What who'd you have? Good pick for the Super Bowl. I mean, it's I don't thank anybody for asking me a question. I say thank you for asking me the question. Guy fucking wants an answer. You give him an answer and you be truthful about it. That's what you do. So that's what really pisses me off is as soon as you see that, something's wrong. Why you think, and then you're not going to get an answer. Nobody answers. I love these Biden guys. He puts them in and nobody can answer a fucking question. Even when they're trying to be the attorney general and they got to go through the Senate or the Congress to get, okay, he's good. Like they're trying to get appointed. Even then they won't answer the question. What did you do? I can't remember. I don't know. One lady said on her Twitter, my Twitter account's private. No, it isn't. If I type something in Twitter, it's public. It's not private. So I don't really understand that whole thing of, that's their excuse, private. Now, you understand you're lying to Congress. These people should be going to jail, but it's too political. And, Biden would never allow it. So we need Biden out of there. He's killing the country. Really, the Chinese are running it. So that's what we have. So let's see, NCAA basketball. So I picked Houston on Sunday because they were the much stronger team against Memphis, laying 4. They didn't cover. They won by 2. Now, I probably wouldn't have bet the game anyway. I'm only talking about it that Houston's a plus 20 and Memphis was a plus 10 or something. So from that standpoint, Houston won the game, which we would have thought they would have won the game. But the other standpoint, I don't think I would have laid 4.5 at Memphis in a big game, right? You want to avoid that game. USC, UCLA, we're betting over, but we're not betting on UCLA or them in that type of game. Let's see. Here's what I was showing you about from our doctor. He had the guy almost killed himself eating this shit. Coke and Labatt's Blue and orange juice and McDonald's Captain Crunch muffin. He had some bagels. He's got cheese, pizza. This is the American diet. This is why everybody's got diabetes and everybody's sick. And I mean, if you would just eat right, I don't have medical insurance because I don't need it because I don't eat this shit. I eat normal stuff. All right. Not much. Well, here's one where the guy's saying, I don't like this Kitco. Gold to value $50,000. So I'm not the only person that thinks this. And again, it's the same story, but it is good to see other people. And then here's the thing on bricks, where they're getting ready. So that comes to bricks currency. And then it comes out to that's when the dollars start coming out with gold back money, or however they're going to do it. All right. So I've been on Cheapo Air looking for flights to Spain, but I'm not sure where to go. I can go for like $900 to Madrid, the 26th, which is like a Tuesday, come back on the following Friday. So it's like 10 days. You always lose a day. So when you lose Tuesday, you get there Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. So you're always losing, but you don't need a hotel that night, right? And then when you leave, you're usually leaving early because you got to catch the flight out of Germany to get back to the U.S. the same day. So it's usually you lose that first day coming, and then you get up early the day you're leaving. So you lose a few days there. Jetta, she'll train to Poland again, and then we got the airport in Poland. She'll then go from the airport to Spain, wherever we figure out. And then somewhere where there's a beach. So I was going to do that last weekend, but I didn't have internet to go and see where. And then going to go to the library. That wasn't open. So it was like, what the fuck? I hate when I get in the mood, because sometimes it takes me a while to get in the mood. Then I get in the mood and I'm like, then you can't do it because there's no power or a snowstorm or something. You're like, fuck, I'm finally in the mood. And like yesterday, I really had to get in the mood to do my unemployment. But it says go file on the 20th, and it's whopping $362 a week. Unbelievable. Anyway, so NCAA basketball, I look for the bracket. It's not ready. I guess this week's the conference championships. So I will go probably next Monday, and print out the bracket, and then I'll put in all our details of our teams, and then put in my lines, and then we'll look at the real lines. And I don't know. I mean, everybody buys the bracket, so we can do it two ways. We can walk through game by game by game, and then get all the way. The problem is you don't have lines for the next game because you don't know who's going to win. And then you get all the way down to the Final Four and the finals. And this is the hard part about a bracket. If a bracket breaks, Michigan State used to get this all the time. Their bracket would get busted, so the one team wasn't that good anyway, loses, and then Michigan State's in the finals of their like the East or the West or whatever. The top 2 or 3 teams have been knocked out, and they make the Final Four, but they didn't have to play, their 1 seed or the 2 seed in their bracket, which is like a joke. That was what I see, but that's what I noticed. They're not that good. They only got there because they didn't play the 1 or 2 seed, sort of like Philadelphia. So that's kind of what happens. So, but how do you read that? That's why I like to bet the Final Four and the finals individually. Like, okay, let's look at the game, like the Super Bowl. I don't pick Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't pick them to win the Super Bowl next year. I'd probably pick Cincinnati. But I would, I don't play that game. I just wait for the game. Cincinnati's playing Kansas City, tease the dog, we win. KC's playing Philly, tease the dog, we win. I don't want to go out and have Buffalo in the Super Bowl, and they didn't even make it. That's the problem with these. How many teams are they? Oh, they're going to win 8 teams. And the odds are so bad. See, this is what people don't get. The odds are terrible. Okay, how many wins will the Green Bay Packers get next year? Who the fuck knows? You don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is playing or not. So it comes out at 9. Why are you going to bet that? Oh, I'm going to bet over 9 with Green Bay. Well, it ain't because of Jordan Love, that's for sure. Okay, Rodgers is playing. Okay, are they going to win that many? Oh, I'm going to bet 200 to win 150. What, are you out of your fucking mind? Why would you do that? And that's what people do. They do the stupidest bet. The odds are not good. The odds are probably 10 to 1, and you get 5 to 1. If you ever watched Ocean's 13, when whatchamacallit's telling Michael Corleone at the expo, and he's saying, oh, well, community dominoes, and they win, they win, their odds are 5 to 1, but our odds are 20 to 1. So we're getting great odds. It's 20 to 1 they're going to win, and they're only getting 5 to 1. And that's the whole thing. That's what it sounds like with the jewelry business. But what you get in the gold business is the premium bullshit. But, there's no way around it, but we're going to make out just fine at the end of the day when the values go up to normal. But people just don't get the physical and that. So in basketball, we'll just play it as it goes. So we'll play the first weekend when we got lines. We'll pick the final. I mean, we'll pick the board, and it would be, I don't know what UCLA is going to do. Let's see if they win the guy. Otherwise, Arizona, and then it's probably is Alabama with the murderer on their team, and then it's so I still think Houston's the best team. So I would probably take Houston to win it all, depending on their bracket, depending on the other side of it. But they would be in my Final Four for sure. So Houston, UCLA, Arizona, Alabama, and who knows? I don't know. We'll take Duquesne or Marquette or somebody like that. But we'll get into that once we can get into it. NFL draft combines is still. I heard somebody actually make a good joke. They said Anthony Richardson, or it was somebody, and they said, "Yeah, he threw against air in his he's in his gym shorts throwing against air, and look what he did." Looks like Daria. I hope she's sending me a happy birthday. This is my Russian one. I don't insist on a gift from them. All I do is insist on a happy birthday. So she got her tooth pulled. She was scared. All right, so that was nice. So she wishes me a happy birthday. She says she got her tooth pulled yesterday. So I sent her $25 to get her tooth pulled in Russia. She says it's so many rubles, and when I do the calculation, and it was like 25 bucks, I was like, fuck, here's $25. So now she needs the implants, which are expensive, which if I get the unemployment, I can give her a little bit more for that. So what was your comment, Bobby Bo? Send your comment again. Anyway, that's what we'll do. We'll do the baskets like we do the football. Should be the same logic. The difference is you're up 7 in basketball and you hit a 3-pointer, you lose, you win by 4 and your line's 5. It's much easier to score in basketball than football, right? You get the ball to 25 and there's 30 seconds left, and you're down 10 points. You're down 14 points, you're probably dead, right? You're not gonna probably not get the back door. But in basketball, it's so easy to drive the court and get the points. So the other question we need to ask is diamonds. Are diamonds fucked like gold is? Maybe not. And then there's the rare coins. Do you buy a limited coin like you would buy a mantle card? There has to be a market for it. But I would think there is. I bet if you found a rare coin, like a rare mantle card, yeah, and it's based on the grading. So if you found a 1920 nickel and it's an MS-70 and it's very rare, or these wartime ones, right? When we went to war, there was copper pennies instead of the other. And so you have those. So that makes it extremely difficult also. Uh, um, so, I mean, there's many ways to collect. But the bottom line is you're getting out of this. So this isn't going to generate anything for you. That's why I don't understand people with gold. Like, what's my dividend? I think you asked me that question, Bobby, yesterday, but I never really understood it. Like, you don't get a dividend with this. You invest this in the stocks, you invested in the coins, you invested in the gold, you invested in Bitcoin. So you take this to trade it for 100 shares of Microsoft or Coca-Cola or stocks with a dividend. So you trade this because this doesn't do you any good. Once in a while in the bank, you'll get a little bit of interest, which again, it's a Ponzi scheme. You should be getting 20%. They use it to lend to somebody to buy a house, and they get 7% on it, and they give you 2%. What the fuck is that? So we're just buying pure gold because we're no gold's going to go up. As far as buying the coins or the baseball cards, I would think they're the same. But again, you're going to get it in U.S. dollars, and you don't want it in U.S. You eventually want it in gold. So really, it's all investing. And with coins, you got to be very smart what you invest in, right? So you can invest in Mickey Mantle, but do you invest in Joe Smith? No. And then you got to get the right set. So you could get a Tom Brady, but you got to get the right card. You can't just blindly get a Tom Brady card, or Joe Burrow. Like Nick wants a Joe Burrow card. Well, you got to be careful which Joe Burrow you get. Like the Brady, one of his cards is $1 million. The other one's 10,000. So what do you want to buy? Then it depends on what you can afford. Yeah, most things with collecting, you cannot be in a hurry with. So if you collect an old coin or a Mantle card or a Bobby Bolt card, of course, you've got to be patient. When I bought my Montana rookie, it's not graded. It's $100,000. If it's a 10, let's say it's a 9 for 10, 15 grand. I bought it. Maybe I paid $100, and I never thought it would be what it's valued at. I just wanted a Montana rookie because I know there'd be demand, and I really liked Montana. He won me so much money, and so that's kind of what you want, but you got to be patient, right? Like gold, it's not going to go tomorrow to 50,000 an ounce, but that's where we anticipate it. It might take a couple years. It might go to 10 and then 20 and then eventually run, or it could run in a week, but we don't know when that's happening. So you must have the patience when you're doing collectibles. What we're doing, we know the first question is, do we know what to do? Is it the right thing? And it is. Like I said, I told the gal at the pool, I told her, well, your first option is to keep your money here, in which it's going to go to zero. So that's your first option. It's look what they're doing. They're putting it to zero. So that leaves your second option of what do I move it to? And that's where you move it to gold. And then if the gold doesn't move by the time you need the money, as Bobby's suggesting, how much do I put in? Then you just move it back to dollars if you need to, if you can't wait for it to finally happen. The Montana card I bought in 1992, 93, and he'd already won 4 Super Bowls. It was his rookie card in Topps. That was the only rookie card he had. And it was hard to find centered. I showed you the card, and it's a very tough card. However, I never thought, I did not buy it because it'll go up to 1,000 or 2,000. That was never in my mind. And now it's 100 if it's a 10. And I don't know. It's probably a 9, but maybe I could get a 10. A little off center. Otherwise, it's perfect. So that's really what you need to do, is be able to wait. Now, you don't know when. I don't know when the Montana jumped, but all of a sudden it jumped, right? All of a sudden it's got big value. And I knew it would, but it wasn't the reason I bought it. So you got to buy the gold knowing it's going to go up, but you got to be patient to let it go. Now we have more information. We have BRICS. We have BRICS trying to do a gold-backed dollar, which is going to jump the price huge. Then we know nobody's on the U.S. dollar anymore, which makes the U.S. dollar go away. And if that goes away, there's no confidence in any dollar, which makes everybody go into a gold-backed dollar, because that's the only dollar that anybody will have faith in. Nobody, the euro's out, the yen's out, the won's out, the ruble's out, all the dollars are out, the Swiss franc. So the only choice is nobody's going to trust anything. So they're all jumping to gold and silver. You get your Bitcoin people, but who the fuck knows how that goes out? And that's priced in dollars. And if dollars goes out, what's the Bitcoin price going to be? We know what the gold price is not related to dollars. It might be priced in dollars now, but we'll be buying a house with it. Here's an ounce of gold. Give me your house, and the deal's done. So that's what we'll do with gold and silver. We know it can only go up, and it can't go down, even as much as it's fixed. They're not going to fix gold for $10 or silver to $5. And if they do, it won't be there long. Well, me and Bobby will be buying up all the silver at the silver place if it ever went that low, which it won't. No, it's going to move. They're trying to protect it. Again, JP Morgan wants a monopoly on the dollar, but nobody wants it. Yeah, she's hot when she's 20, but when they hit 50 and they get fat, they're not in demand. There's no more monopoly on the hot girl. So that's really what we're saying here is nobody's going to want the dollar. It's just, um, you know, it's just the way it is. I mean, but we're smart enough to understand that. So that's really what we're looking at is getting that, making the substitute away from that. What else? Yeah, you see too many of these videos that keep saying the same thing over and over. Well, gold's going to go up and silver's going to go up, and here's the short squeeze, and da 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 da. Okay, we keep hearing it. We got it. We know that's what's going to happen, and all the best I can do is say it's that's what's happening, but you got to be careful with it, and it's gonna it's gonna take a little bit of time. But on the other hand, I'm warning you that if you wait too long to buy it, there will be a day it will go way up, and it will be a day you won't have any quantity to buy, and that's we'll see how that works. So what happens if Bobby places an order on 25 Cougarans for Philharmonics, and he's got his order in at $25 each, and he bought 100 this time. So you got 2,500. And in the middle, the price goes to $1,000 an ounce. What's Bobby legally? Is Bobby legally entitled to the $25, or can they say, you know what, Bobby? Yeah, but before we ship, the price went up. Now, in my mind, Bobby's entitled to the $25 an ounce. So if this comes up, Bobby or anybody, this is my thought. Bobby signed the contract at $25 an ounce. He paid for it at $25 an ounce. And therefore, even though by the time they ship, it's $1,000 an ounce, they cannot say, oh, wait, Bobby, we got to charge you $1,000. The price went up. You're locked in at $25. Now, this happened to me with my first batch of gold. He didn't have enough, so we ordered some. That was my first 10 grand. That was when I first started with the gold in Ann Arbor. And I put a deposit down, and the guy said, the guy goes to me and he says, so you put your deposit. I says, what if the price changes? Because we know the price is never consistent. He says, no, you've locked it in. So from the dealer in Ann Arbor to the class, if you do that and you buy it and then the price zooms, you should be locked in legally to the price that you bought it for. Even though I didn't buy it all, I put a deposit down. Then a week later it comes in. I go back to Ann Arbor and the guy says, okay, it's ready. And so all I did was give him what I owed him. So if it was 10 grand and I gave him 2,000 as the deposit, then the coins came in, and then I gave him the other 8 at the price stipulated, and I got the coins. So you're pretty much locked in, but I would ask that question with whoever you're doing with it. The guy in Ann Arbor was. Some people might try to scam you. God forbid, JP Morgan's involved. Then it'll be, no, Bobby, it's JP Morgan. The price went up. We got to charge you $1,000, not the 25, because the price went up. And don't fall, that's bullshit. That's totally illegal. And like I said, what I was dealing with, the guy was like, no. It's, you've locked in the price. You paid your deposit. You're done. And especially, Bobby, I think you pay it all up front anyway. So if you buy the order and they make you, okay, I'm buying 100 ounces of silver. Here's $2,500. That's, to me, a done deal. So just be careful of that they don't try to get you where it's, they try to get you on the higher price because it moves. But that's your, so that is the other way. But your risk right now is the price going up. So you buy as much as you can with the thought of No, okay, I got to be patient. Joe Montana rookie card took a while to go up, but it did go up. It wasn't going down. It's Joe Montana who he won 4 Super Bowls. It ain't going down. Gold and silver is not going down, right? They've won 10 Super Bowls, right? Or in Bobby's case, they won 10 World Series. They're the Mickey Mantle of coins, right? They're not going down. So as long as you understand that, it's just when will it go up, not if it'll go up. And the whole BRICS thing is making it happen faster and now, and the dollar being backed by gold. Now, how much of the plan? I see that they're trying to blow up NATO because the Europeans do not like the U.S. The U.S. wants to keep the war going, and again, it's France going, well, we don't want to be at war. Well, yeah, that helped us in World War II, France, when you bailed on everybody instead of stopping the Germans at the Rhineland. You let that fucking go. And 100 million people dying later, and you gave up your city, your country. So that's really the point. So, yeah, I'm gonna go play poker. I think, like I said, I think from here I'm gonna go swimming. It's 2:00, so soon. Then I'll go to the barbecue place and get my ribs and chicken, and then from there I'm going to poker. And we'll see. We'll try to be, even if we're right, I'll try to avoid the all in the hands. Even though I had a flush, I had the 9 and 7, and the guy had the Jack and 4. So not knowing who I'm playing with, I've got to be careful not to call an all in, because against me, I don't think they're ever bluffing an all in. I'm too dangerous there. So we will see. Oh, thank you, Bobby Ball. Yeah, Daria just did this. She said I was so busy with my teeth. She gets her teeth pulled, and then today I say it's my birthday, and she says, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I got my teeth pulled yesterday." So she wished me a happy birthday. Her and my stepdaughter, Alina. So, that's very nice. That's all I care. I'm not wanting a gift from them. She'll take care of me when we meet, but that's the problem, is meeting. Her birthday was last week. So I said, well, we'll celebrate our birthdays together. Problem is meeting. I can't fly to Russia. I don't know if I can go to like Georgia or Kazakhstan or all these strange sounding Russian countries if we're allowed there. Maybe we are, because we're not at war with them. We're at war with Russia, not Georgia. So we will see. Anyway, so we'll meet soon. And then I'm meeting the other in Spain. And that'll be nice. I always look forward to meeting Jenna. And I try to book her flight so it comes into the same airport close to when I arrive. So otherwise, I either got to stay there, or I taxi to the hotel, and then I got to taxi her to the hotel. And it's a pain in the ass, because you never know how much it is. I don't know. You're on vacation, so it's like I just want to get to the room and go take a hot tub and relax, and not, I got to get back to the airport to pick her up. So I really, last time I waited like 2 hours in Lisbon to wait for her. And like I said, we met at baggage claim, and neither of us had to do our passports. They never punched my passport or anything. I just got there and walked out to the taxi and went to the hotel. Same way when I left. We did have to do in Germany. What a pain in the ass, Germany. Oh my God. Anyway, so let's see. So the NFL draft soon. Poker tonight. I plan on winning. I always know when to go. I always get that gut. Like, okay, go play. It's your birthday. Go play poker today. And I usually do well when I get that feel. That's what I wait for. Um, I don't know. These professional poker players, I don't think any of them have any money. I was reading an article on Gus Hansen, who's a really good poker player, and he played backgammon. I didn't know you could play that. I don't even know how you bet it. It's you move all you guys off the board with rolls of the dice. There's no strategy involved at all. So I don't understand how it's like he made money at it. Then he played poker and he made a lot of money live. Then he played online and he lost like $14 million. And my first thought is, well, obviously it was a scam. They were reading his hole cards. What an idiot. What kind of idiot plays online and keeps playing online even though he's losing? I will not play online because I know it's all fixed. They can see my hole cards. So I will never play online. I'm either playing live or I'm not playing. So he loses all his money. Then he had to work as an accountant. I had to laugh my ass off. There's this great gambler and he's playing and he's an accountant. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm Gus Hansen. And he probably flexed his muscles. Can you imagine The Rock working in an office, Bobby? So, that should be so he's got to wait to come in, right? Or Stone Cold. They got to wait for their music to enter into his, he's got the Rock desk and he oh wait, the Rock's here. He's our finance manager. And the Rock comes in and they start playing the music and he goes, "You smell what I'm cooking?" and starts doing the mic, just to get to his desk in the office. Oh God, that would be so funny. And then he starts leveling. Oh, the guy makes a mistake. He gives him the rock bottom, and then the people's elbow, and the guy's got the guy's okay. You got to get out of here. You made a mistake. God, working in an office with the Rock or Stone Cold would be hysterical. Oh my God, we should try that. Next job I get, I'm gonna have music to come into. We'll have to get some music and the professor's here. Oh my God. That would be funny. So what else? 2:00. I'll go to 2:30, I think. I don't want to be too tired. I did sleep in a little. I don't even set my alarms. Whenever I get up, I get up. So this would be good if I get my unemployment, then I'm fine. Then I go buy more gold, Bobby. That's the key. Go buy more gold. Both companies said I could get unemployment. They were going to block it, so I'm not really worried. I didn't do anything wrong. I just disagreed with I didn't want to be treated the way the Japanese were treating me. Huh. There you go. Wouldn't that be funny? Well, you've never worked in an office, have you? I mean, I work in an office all the time, right? Doing finance. And I do my football. Usually I do my football when I'm done with my finance. So I do it real quick to get time for football. And people found out I handicap, right? And one guy goes to me, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Working?" Like, I don't understand your question. Why does anybody work? For money. Well, if I can make money doing finance and I can make money picking game, I totally don't understand the question. Even the Jap at Toyota, kind of when he was in the yelling session, and I'm laughing at him, he goes, "What are you doing here?" And I go, "I don't know what you're meaning. I'm here working. What are you talking? What kind of question is that? Put it in English. What's really your question?" I'm here a couple months. Do you think I'm up to speed, or is there something we're missing? I work the hours you want. I'm bored as hell. I got an idiot for a manager. Yeah, basically. I love when I'm smarter than the manager I'm working for. They always want to use me. Well, maybe you can train the manager. That's not what I'm here for. That's going to cost you more to train the manager. But hopefully I'm done with all that. I can't wait for the gold to go up. And then we can finally just retire in peace. Everybody's going to get fucked. And I don't know. I try to help people. I don't get it. Buy gold and silver. I don't know. Okay, when the dollar collapses, which it's almost there, and gold and silver goes up, and you're going to say, "Oh yeah, that guy told me to do it, and I didn't listen to him." Oh my God. Well, I don't understand that people think they know everything, or if you tell them something that'd be like you, Bobby, going to like a Pony Colt game, and you see a guy, and you're telling him how to hit. And he doesn't know you're Bobby Ball, like they don't know I'm the professor. And you're saying, well, try this. And the guy not listening to you, go, nah, that's okay. I got my own batting. And you're like, you're Bobby Ball. You're a professional ball player. You know how to hit. And how the fuck do they not want to listen to you? It blows my mind that you got somebody like that. And then you wouldn't listen to them. Or I'm telling you about gold and you don't want to listen. It just, people hear what they want to hear and do what they want to do, I guess, and that there's nothing else we can do about it. Anyway, so I'm going to send this picture to Daria because she likes seeing me here. So I guess that's it. We covered gold, economics. We know market and everything. So I'm anticipating the price of my barbecue tonight will be the same. Poker's, see, the funny part about poker is it's $2 no limit, Texas Hold'em. There's nowhere for it to change except for the $2 is really down in value. That's the part people don't understand. So if you win $100, you're really not even winning 100. I remember I was in Romania playing. I wanted to play poker. Poker was closed, and I ended up playing blackjack. And I won the first few hands, and I got it stacked up, and I was winning a lot. And so I started losing. So I got up and left, and I go, wow, I'm up all this money. And I wasn't, because it was in Romanian lei, and it's like 4-1. So even if I won $100, I really won 25. So I was all excited. Look what I won. And then in the meantime, I didn't really win that much. I won a lot of lei, but when you translate it to US, it's not really that much. But that's the funny thing. So you got to keep in mind, you got to get the gold and silver. That's where it's at. We'll be fine with that. What else? I'll tell you about poker. I'm getting better at like the Bitcoin crowd, just going, okay, it's what are you going to do when the dollar collapses and your Bitcoin has no price? Anyway, so what about Tesla? What's that idiot up to? So, he's opening up a new plant in Mexico so he can save money. I mean, it's so stupid because we want jobs in America, and this guy's like for jobs in America, and then he opens a plant in Mexico. I read where he plans on selling 1 million. Plans on making 1 million electronic vehicles a year. Who are you going to sell it to? You understand you're in the middle of a depression of what's happening, and who's going to buy your cars? This is the part that people don't get, that need to understand economics. Are you going to have a market? Who's going to buy? Like all of a sudden, the housing market's collapsing. because you got to have people that can afford it and for the higher interest rates and buy the house, or they might be in the smaller market. Well, we'll look for the $150,000 house. We can't afford the $500,000 house. So that's what these people. So if the builder's still building these $1 million mansions, you don't have a buyer. So the same thing there. He's gonna supposedly make 1 million electric vehicles a year. Good luck selling 10,000 of them. Who the fuck's gonna buy them? And at your price, nobody's gonna buy them. And with the high interest rates. So I don't really get that. I don't get his whole space thing. What's he gonna sell spaceships, or is he going to send people to the moon? People can't go to the moon. They will fry from the radiation. Once you get outside of the Earth's orbit, it's like, 100 miles up, you fry. That's why we never went and we never will go to Mars. You can't. You'll fry. And so, very interesting. So Tesla, I don't know. I don't know if I like him or not. But anyway, then I was watching something on the San Andreas Fault finally breaking. I think it started to. So all these people in California, Bobby, they're going to be toast. Because it's about to collapse, just like this earthquake in Turkey, if it was real or just a bomb blowing up. But that's what you got in LA, the San Andreas Fault. It's time. We'll see when that happens. A lot of things we know about, but you're just waiting to happen, right? The difference in football, we're waiting for the draft. We know the date of it, right? It's finite. This is the date of the NFL draft. This is the date of the World Series. This is the date of, the NCAA tournament. We know the dates. That's the difference. And stuff like the faults and stuff like the when's gold going to go up. There's no date, but we're all programmed for the date. So we get restless. It should have went up by now. No. I never said that about the Montana card. In fact, I never thought it would go. I was just happy to have it. And now I see what it's worth, and I'm really happy to have it. But that's the difference. I never thought. I remember talking a couple of years ago to my friend in Vegas. We talked about that the baseball card market was dead. It doesn't have a value. And I happened to stumble on something, and I was looking at gold, and somehow I got Jordan, and his cards were like 100,000, and all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, these cards are worth something. They just need to be graded in PSA 10 to be worth something. Ungraded cards don't have much of a value because everybody wants the 10. They want the nice card, and they're buying them probably as collectors, not investors. So that's a big one. Anyway, so no gold jewelry. Buy your gold coins and your silver coins, as me and Bobby do. You just buy the silver 1 ounce. Doesn't matter what country, as long as it looks silver. And the same thing with gold. It really doesn't matter the country. You pay more for the U.S. ones than you do for the Cougarans and Maple Leafs. So I was counting my gold. I have like 25 ounces of my 50 is U.S. Then I got like, let's say 40 ounces of Cougarans, and then about 10 ounces of Maple Leafs. I have the one Philomena. And then I have a half-ounce Kangaroo. So it's just funny what you get there. But that just shows you people need money. And, they're from Europe. And they got a Philharmonic. They go to the guy. He gives them, I assume, spot as if you would if it was a U.S. or a Cougaran. And off that's how he gets Cougarans. All of a sudden, here comes Cougarans. And, where did you get him? He's not buying them from South Africa, right? He's not going there. People are bringing them in. So people are needing money, and I feel bad about that. And then I feel real bad is that they're selling their gold for their money. Yes, it shows you gold will keep its value, but on the other hand, gold's about to go up. Now, if everybody at 50,000 started selling, okay, I can understand that. So probably what'll happen is the gold will start running, and then there'll be people going, "Oh, I'll take profit," and it might drop a little, and then it'll keep running and running and running. And they're calling it a super metals cycle, where gold and silver are going to go past the moon all the way to Jupiter, I think. So keep the focus on that's where it's headed. So our biggest thing is how much more can we buy before it happens? And that's where I thought it was going to be, last year. Now I'm thinking this year. I have the reasons. We'll see what happens. But JP Morgan's going to be, they don't want to give up their monopoly. Yes, Bobby. Oh, tax question. So how about when we sell out our silver, how will short-term and long-term capital gains work? For instance, some would be held longer than a year and some less than a year. Well, it won't affect you at all. So let's say silver goes to 2,000 an ounce. You only have to worry about a 1099 on 10,000 and up. These aren't stocks. So if you get a $2,000, you sell a coin for $2,000, there's no 1099 to worry about. Now, if you are selling gold, well, you don't have gold, but so if you're selling your silver and you sell $30,000 worth, there is a calculation that I have on here. Let me pull this out. I probably have it, but I don't know what it's called. Here it is, I think. So this is what I use, this table. So let's do your equation. Initial value was $25. Minimum value must be 100. Okay, so we're going to sell. You bought, so let's say you're going to sell 10 of them, $25 to $250. So $250 is what you paid for the 10. Your sale value is going to be 10 times 1,000. So, no, we'll say 20,000. Now, here it asks more or less than 100. So let's say less. We'll do both. Less than a year. Then it's asking for annual income. So we'll just put 100,000. Single. So your total capital gains you'll pay is $6,307 for less than a year if you make 100 grand. Now, if we change it to more than a year, I changed it to more than a year, and now it's $49.79. So you're more advantageous to say you've held it for more than a year than less than a year. Everything else, I mean, we're just making up shit, but from your income. Well, you put the values in here and it comes out the calculation. So, well, we'll do it this. It's already on here. So you invested 3,000, it's worth 85,000. So you're going to sell it, and you've had it for more than a year. So you've owned it for over a year. Your annual income's 100,000. And then it says your capital gains will be 20,000 if you made. So it's saying you made 85,000. So you really made $82,000. So they're taxing you at 20%. Right, 82 grand's but you're going to pay 20,669 in tax. So you're going to pay almost a quarter of it. However, if your annual income is 50,000, then you only pay 19,000. Didn't go down a much, so you pay 19,660. And if it's less than a year, then now it's 26. So there's definitely, you want to have it more than a year. There's definitely more tax on short term than long term. Yeah, if that's long term. So you always want to say it's long term. Well, it depends on the income. The less the income, the less you pay. So for me, my income's like zero right now because it's all Social Security, which doesn't get taxed. So I don't pay anything hardly. So let me show you. So here's the same 82,000, right? And it's less than a year. And now we'll go down to, let's go down to 5,000. I made money on football. All right. So it's still showing 19. I don't know if it changed or not. So let's go to more than a year. And it's 12,000. Well, it's probably because it's 85,000. So I made a whole lot of money, so I'd have to pay 12,000 even though I didn't make any income. So if you make a lot of money, you're going to pay, even if you don't earn any income, it's still going to be a lot, but you made 82,000. So my guess would not be to I would sell little portions at a time. And I would sell 9,000 and then you wouldn't pay tax. You wouldn't even get a 1099. So what I would do, if possible, would be sell 9,000 worth and then go back and sell another 9 and another 9 and another 9. You don't have to do this because you're never going to report any of it, because you're not, only if you get a 1099 do you report it. If you don't get a 1099, it never kind, never sold an ounce. I don't know what you're talking about. So, because the 1099 gets into the government's hands and they go, aha, Bobby Bowe sold $30,000 of gold, right? But if you don't get the 1099, the government doesn't see anything, so you just let it go. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't sell gold. I don't buy gold. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's why I would advise to sell, get that IRA limit, which I think is 10,000, and then sell, 9 of it. Keep it under where they're going to 1099 you. And then even like I said, maybe you pay a guy not to 1099 you. Maybe you use it for barter. You buy a house or a car with it, and you pay him in gold. There's no 1099 there. So there shouldn't be. Yeah, because if you buy a car with cash, he's not 1099ing you on it because you're paying with it. So it's when you receive it. No, fuck. No. I thought I ran out of juice, but I got like 95. Okay. So that's what you're doing. So you need the right amount of that. But it looks like the long term gets taxed less than the short term. So no matter what, it's long term. I don't have my receipts. It's long term. Are they really going to go after you? I don't know. But again, try to keep it under 10 grand. So if your silver is 2 grand, just sell 4 ounces at a time. And if you don't get the 1099, you don't put anything on your taxes, even if you've done it 10 times, right? So you sold 8,000 10 times is 80,000, but you're not selling it at once. So if you sell 8,000 here, no 1099, 8,000 there, 8,000 there, never get a 1099, you don't do anything for taxes. So keep that in mind. So that's kind of how we get back at them. I think you would actually pay 0, Professor. Well, what do you mean? It's 22% for 100,000. I thought it would be cheaper if I didn't. Let's try another one. I'm not sure it always resets. Yeah, this is more like it. So here, so 500, it's worth 65,000 more than a year, 0 income. Not, it's showing. These things are so sensitive. So if I invested 500 and I sell it for 65,000 with 0 income, it says I would pay 6,400 in tax. So the key's to not get the 1099, and then you don't have to pay anything in tax. You're going to pay something. You're just not going to pay if you don't get the 10. So the key's not to get the 1099. So you either go just below the limit that would issue a 1099, or you pay somebody $1,000 and you tell them, by the way, we won't be doing a 1099. Here's $1,000, and you're way ahead. So that's what I think. anyway, we'll just wait for the collapse and we'll wait for our gold to go up. And that's, in the meantime, buy what you can. And I know there's that fine line. You need money to pay your bills versus money to buy your gold. And then when you, if you do need some more money, you just sell your gold or silver and you'll go to the coin store and he'll gladly take it and give you the spot price. So it's always the insurance that if it doesn't go up fast enough and you need the money quicker than you think, then you would be able to do that, right? You'd be able to get your money back with the gold. Now, if you're going on a trip to Hawaii, you're fucked. You can't get your money back. So that's the beauty of gold. You're really not spending any money. You're just transferring it from bills to coins. So you're taking 100 of this and you're getting 4 silver coins. And if you need this, you sell the silver coins back for the dollar. So it's a beautiful, it takes the time out of it. So you keep enough for a couple of months. And then if you need to sell, then you sell and get more money. Sort of like what I'm doing with the bank. I cashed in an IRA for like 30 grand. I got the money in my safe. I don't have any money in the bank. So when things came due, I then run and put 2 grand back in the bank. So it's in the safe. Now it's back in the bank, short term enough because these bail-ins. I was telling a lady at the jewelry store about bail-ins. She didn't know about bail-ins. I'm like, well, you're a fucking idiot, aren't you? How do you manage a jewelry store and you don't know about fucking BRICS countries and bail-ins and all this? So the bailout is when the central bank bails out the bank, JP Morgan, right? They fucked up. They had these bad loans. Now they're going out of business. So the central bank will print $1 billion. Here you go. Now you're solvent. And that's what they normally do. But since they can't do that because they can't print like they want to, because the dollar is going out and the debt's so high, that they're going to do what's called bail-ins, which is they fuck all their customers, where they say, Bobby, you don't have any money in the bank. And Bobby says, yeah, I got 100 grand. They go, no, not anymore. Maybe he's got 5 grand in there, but you don't have any money in the bank. We don't see it. Oops, too bad. You're done. And we all get upset. Like in China, they all get upset there, but they can't get their money because the banks aren't open. And so what they did was stop paying on their mortgage, saying, fuck it, we're not going to pay our mortgage. If my money's in the bank to pay the mortgage, I can't get in there because you're closing the bank because you need my money. So that's what happens. The banks steal the people's money. And it's just happened in Turkey and Pakistan and Greece. And I'm sure it'll happen in Europe, and it happened in China and Canada when they had that truck thing. So don't think it can't happen. As I always say, if we were living in the Roman Empire, we would be like, we're fine. We're in the Roman Empire. How can we collapse? And that's the same. I think it's the same thing. And a fair point is, in Rome, they never would have thought that their city would collapse. And it was corrupt politicians and inflation. What do we have here? Corrupt politicians and inflation. They don't even know. Jerome Powell was doing the thing, doesn't even know what inflation is. Well, we're trying to get the prices down under control. And the guy says, so you're going to do that? How? Well, you're going to do that by causing unemployment, and that will slow the economy so prices will drop. What a fucking idiot. Why are prices going to drop? Because interest rates go up. Only in cars and homes, but not in food and everything else. There's so many sections of the economy. So by raising interest rates only affects some of the economy, but you've got all this money from Bitcoin and you've got all this money flowing back in from China selling their debt and giving it back to the U.S. saying we don't want it. So it's just a fucking nightmare. But anyway, what Powell's trying to do won't work, and he will cause a lot of companies a lot of business with the high interest rates. It just means if you want to borrow, if you're on credit, then you're fucked because it's going to cost you a lot more to pay it back. And as sales drop, you won't be able to, and you'll be out of business. So I told my boss when I left, I'll give you till March. I'll give you 6 months. You'll be out of business. And it's 6 months now. So things will start collapsing now. He's gone. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Have a nice day. I'm off to go swim and then off to swim, barbecue, and poker. Sounds like a fun day. All right. All right, everybody. Have a good time. Have a good day. It's my birthdays and I want it. All right. You take care, everybody. Thank you very much. www.teaserking.com. I will tell you all about it tomorrow. And hopefully some good poker stories with the W this time. All right. Take care, everybody.